How's your French?
No.
No? No French?
No,
But
no
the language
French.
matters very much in Quebec.
No.
Sir, if you're going to run for prime minister, I mean, you have to know that the French language matters and the French it matters in Quebec.
Trust me,
profoundly.
just because I'm Hindu by religion and I happen to meet a Hindu prime minister, people are making an issue.
I think it's because the agents of the Indian government have been credibly accused of playing a role in the murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. And I just wonder why, as a sitting parliamentarian of the government that made that allegation, and the caucus of a prime minister has been the target of a propaganda campaign by the Indian government to discredit him, you would go meet with him in that context. Okay,
Dave,
some of the things you've put out. A cabinet selected on merit, not DEI quotas. You want a total review of government programs and spending, no excuses, no waste, razor-sharp focus on economic implications. You're talking about cutting things. Yep. Raising the retirement age back by 2 years, something the Liberals undid that
Correct.
Stephen Harper had put in, and talking about making Canada a sovereign republic and dumping the monarchy. What constituency inside the Liberal Party of Canada is looking for those policies? Because that's a big departure for where the party is.
Is that we have to make decisions that are like bitter medicine. Otherwise, we can't come back and track. Talking about raising the retirement age. Old age security is the biggest item in the budget. And it is
$100 billion.
$100 billion in 28-29. That doesn't include GIS. So now, if we don't start making decisions there, we can't structurally solve the problems that we have. So that is the kind of things. It is a wake-up call, not just for the Liberal Party members, for entire Canadians, that we have to take actions today so that our children and grandchildren will have a better life.
We don't know the rules of this race. There's probably going to be an entry fee of $200,000, $250,000. That's a lot for a backbench MP who's never been in cabinet, and I don't say this to be disrespectful, doesn't have a national profile to raise, right? I mean, how serious?
Why should we speculate? Let the
well, you know it's going to be a big dollar amount. It's always a big dollar amount.
I have raised money for my campaign. The last time I had any fundraiser was way back in 2016. I still have around $170,000, $180,000 in the bank for my next election.
Do you think you have enough time for Canadians to even know who you are? I asked Frank Baylis the same thing. He was a one-term MP. You served in caucus with Mr. Baylis. But, this is a lot of Canadians don't even know who cabinet ministers are. They know who Justin Trudeau is, but it's a big hill to climb.
Exactly the same thing. What you said is the answer. Not many Canadians know most of the contestants here. So my point is that I have to reach out to the Canadians with the proposals, what I have, explaining them where I stand, explaining to them what is that I'm going to do. And that is going to think that's going to catch attention.
September 2023, Justin Trudeau stood in the House of Commons and said he had credible evidence that agents of India may have been involved in the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. In November of 2023, a U.S. indictment that was unsealed linked the Indian government to the Nijjar case. In May of 2024, the RCMP arrested 3 Indian nationals, and investigators said they believed there were ties to the Indian government. But then in August of 2024, you traveled to India and met with Narendra Modi. Why?
What's the issue there? I fully support what Prime Minister said on Nijjar or everything else. We are a sovereign country. We can't allow any foreign government or any foreigners to come and meddle in our domestic affairs. Same way as Canada does not matter. Just because I'm Hindu by religion and I happen to meet a Hindu Prime Minister, people are making an issue.
Well, no, I think it's because the agents of the Indian government have been credibly accused of playing a role in the murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. And I just wonder why, as a sitting parliamentarian of the government that made that allegation, and the caucus of a prime minister has been the target of a propaganda campaign by the Indian government to discredit him, you would go meet with him in that context.
I met Prime Minister Trudeau when I went to India. I did discuss about Canada-India relations. And I did not go as an official representative of
I know.
government.
I know, but you surely would understand, as someone who wants to be the Prime Minister of the country, the propaganda value of a sitting parliamentarian of the Liberal government going to meet with Narendra Modi at a time when this is unfolding, the way it is unfolding.
Every country, we have not broken off the diplomatic relations with India, or for that matter.
Our diplomats have been kicked out since then, but since your visit.
Since then. But then we still have the diplomatic relations there. And tell me, what's the issue there if an MP meets a Prime Minister of any other country?
I would suggest is that when you're in this conflict,
So you
over
mean to
this.
say that no minister should meet any other minister?
Oh, no,
MPs
the ministers should,
Yeah.
and the ambassador should, or sorry, the high commissioner,
Yeah.
excuse me. But why do you feel a non-cabinet level, non-diplomatic, non-briefed member of the caucus should meet with the Prime Minister of India under these circumstances?
Government of Canada never said no MP should meet any other Prime Minister or Foreign Minister.
Did you seek permission beforehand, seek
No,
guidance beforehand, seek
because-
clearance? They might have told you not to go,
No,
don't you think?
no. Government of Canada always gives directions when something like this is going to happen. And there's nothing there.
Okay, I mean, we'll see. I mean, how's your French?
No,
No French?
no French.
Okay, the Liberal Party of Canada is the party of official bilingualism. It's going to be a tough one. I don't speak French either, so
No, the point is that whether the Quebecers or English Canadians, it's not the language that matters, it's what is that they deliver to them.
But the language matters very much in Quebec.
No, at the end of the day, Quebecers see who delivers what. We have English-speaking, French-fluent Prime Minister for all the time. One of the things that matters to Quebecers are being a sovereign country, a sovereign republic.
Yeah.
And which
But
Prime Minister has ever talked about that?
Mr. Arya, if you're going to run for Prime Minister, I mean, you have to know that the French language matters, and the French it matters in Quebec.
Trust me.
Profoundly.
Trust me, at the end of the day, for French Canadians and English Canadians, the matters most is that how the children and grandchildren are going to prosper in this country. That is the thing that matters.
Okay, we'll leave it there.